Hey, I'm Jem. I help business owners in the US get more qualified leads and actually turn them into clients without all the guesswork. Now, I know that might sound like a big promise, but stick with me for a few minutes because in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to double your closing rate in just 7 days without changing your product, without a new funnel, and without being salesy. The secret? It's a 5-stage flow I've tested across hundreds of calls, whether it's roofing, home improvement, real estate, marketing, or local services. Once you understand these 5 stages and use the proven talk tracks I'll share, you'll start noticing prospects lean in, open up, and buy faster. Here's the roadmap we'll walk through today. Number one, connection, how to set the tone and take control of the call in the first 3 minutes. Number two, engagement, how to uncover real pain points and make the prospect feel heard. Number three, transition, how to smoothly shift from discovery to presentation without sounding pushy. Number four, presentation, how to make your offer irresistible and framed around their problem. Number five, commitment, how to close the deal naturally and handle objections with confidence. And along the way, I'll give you exact talk tracks like the line I personally use. I help X by doing Y. You'll also get a daily checklist you can follow for the next 7 days so you can practice each stage, tighten your flow, literally watch your closing rate jump. Oh, and by the way, if you want me to fill your calendar with pre-qualified leads so you can apply the system on autopilot, I can help you with that too. I offer done for you leads tailored to your exact offer and market. Stick around till the end and I'll show you how to access that. All right, before we jump into fancy closes or objection handling, let's get one thing straight. If the start of your call is messy, uncertain, or full of smart talk that goes nowhere, the rest of the call will always feel like an uphill battle. So let's fix that first because everything good, smooth, every smooth close, every yes, every deal starts with a clean beginning. Let's dive into stage number one, connection. Okay. This is where most people lose the deal without realizing it. They jump straight into pitching or asking questions, but the prospect hasn't even decided if they trust them yet. So your goal in the first 3 minutes is simple. Create safety, establish control, confirm you're talking to a decision maker. Think of this part as building a foundation. If the foundation is weak, the whole structure collapses later. But if it's strong, you can guide the conversation whether you need it, wherever you need it to go. Here's what to say in the very first minute. Hey, name, I appreciate you making the time. My goal today is simple. I'll ask a few questions to understand what you're working towards, share what I'm seeing with companies like yours, and if there's a fit, I'll walk you through how we can help. If not, I'll point you in the right direction. Sounds fair? Now let's break that down because this one line does a lot of heavy lifting. You're doing three things here. Setting the agenda, which is number one, you're showing their structure. People love structure, it makes them feel safe. Number two, lowering pressure. You're telling them, hey, if this isn't a fit, that's okay. That instantly relaxes them. Number three, positioning yourself as the guide. You're not begging for the sale, you're helping them make a good decision. And this one shift alone, I've seen it bump show up rates and stay on call rates by 20 to 30% just because prospects feel they're in a professional conversation, not a pitch. This is very important. Now let's make it real with a US based example. I help roofing companies in Dallas and Houston book insured homeowner appointments. We do it by combining property level data, weather windows, and live phone verification. But first, I want you to understand your current lead flow so we don't prescribe the wrong thing. Notice what's happening there. You're positioning yourself as an expert who understands their world. You're showing that your process is data backed and specific to their area. That's credibility. But you're also asking permission to diagnose before prescribing. That's leadership. And that combo, that's exactly what builds authority and comfort in the first 3 minutes. So before you ever talk about features or pricing, your job is to get control of the conversation in a friendly, confident way. All right. Now that the call has actual structure, control, and trust, it's time to go deeper because what really moves a sale forward isn't features or pricing, it's awareness, specifically problem awareness. Let's talk about how to get your prospects to open up about their challenges in a way that naturally leads to your solution without feeling like an interrogation. Let's move to stage number two, engagement. Your goal here is to create clarity on three things: what the real problem is, what happens if they don't fix it, and what it's costing them right now in money, time, or stress. This is where your close rate skyrockets. Because the moment someone clearly sees the cost of inaction, they stop thinking about it and start actually taking action. No, they love to think about it sometimes. So you have to frame it in a good way there. How do we create problem awareness? Let's start with problem awareness questions. These are your magnifying glass. Like you're not attacking here, you're helping them zoom in on what's actually blocking results. You're asking things like, what's the main bottleneck between you and your next revenue target? That question does two things. It focuses the conversation on the outcome they want, not random details. It gets them to define their own obstacle, which makes the problem emotionally real. Or walk me through your last 30 days of leads. How many, from where, and how many turned into paying jobs? Now we're talking metrics. You're gently exposing inefficiencies, but in a way that lets them see it, not you telling them. And here's another one that works beautifully. When a lead goes quiet, what happens next in your process? This one uncovers follow up breakdowns because usually the issue isn't bad leads, it's what happens after the lead comes in. Why this stage works. You're not selling here, you're coaching them into clarity. When people start articulating their problems out loud, they take mental ownership of it. They start realizing, yeah, this is actually a problem and I probably can't fix it alone. That's when you naturally become the solution provider, not the salesperson. We are, at the end of the day, we're trying to solve people's problems here. That's why we get paid. So always keep this in mind. Solving a problem before thinking about payment is the most important thing. Okay. The power of consequence questions. Now, once the problem is clear, you add weight to it. You do that with consequence questions. These questions reveal what happens if nothing changes. They make the pain of staying stuck bigger than the fear of taking action. Here's a few to try. If everything stays exactly as it is for the next 90 days, what does that mean for revenue, team workload, or cash flow? That question hits hard because it forces them to imagine their future if they don't take action. Most people avoid thinking about that. When you guide them there gently, they start to feel the urgency. Another one. What opportunities do you have to say no to because lead quality is unpredictable? This flips the conversation from lost to missed opportunity. You're helping them see not just what's hurting them, but what they're missing out on. I have an example here. Let's see. Okay. Let's make this practical with some examples from real industries. Okay. Example number one, home services. I help Phoenix HVAC companies reduce no-shows by installing a two-step SMS confirmation system and a 7-minute speed to lead rule. Without that, you're paying for clicks that never turn into at-bats. See how that hits? You're not just saying you need automation. You're showing the real-world consequence, wasted ad spend, and empty schedules. Example number two, in B2B SaaS, I help Austin SaaS startups get sales qualified demos by targeting founder-led ICPs on LinkedIn and email, then routing replies to reps within 5 minutes. Otherwise, your pipeline decays by the day. This line communicates two things. Competence, you understand how SaaS pipelines really work. Consequence, they don't fix response time, they lose momentum daily. It's not just data, it's urgency with context. Label and mirror technique. When the prospect gives you a surface level answer, don't jump to the next question. Instead, label what you're hearing and mirror the emotion back. Okay. In, Here's what that looks like. Prospect says leads have been flaky. You say sounds like unpredictability has you handcuffed. Where does the flakiness first show up? The book call or the follow up? That one does three things. It shows you're listening deeply, it helps them self diagnose the issue further, and it earns you trust points because you're not trying to fix them, you're helping them think. When people feel understood, they start opening up. And the more they open up, the more likely they are to say yes later because they believe you get them better than anyone else. Now that the problem and the stakes are crystal clear, they feel the pain, they understand the cost, and they've opened up to you. It's time to shift gears. You've guided them from confusion to clarity. The next step, guiding them from pain to plan. And that bridge is called transition. The goal here is to not start pitching, it's to move gracefully from discovery, where you're understanding them, to solution, where you start showing the way forward. Think of the stage like shifting gears in a car. You don't slam it from first to fifth, you glide through the gears first. You've just spent the last few minutes helping them articulate their pain. Now, instead of dumping features or pricing, you simply show that there's a clear, tailored path out of that pain. This is where you're positioning as a guide. Like, this is where your positioning as a guide shines. You're not selling a product, you're offering a plan. Here's the simplest and most powerful way to bridge into your plan. Based on what you shared, these are three levers that usually fix this fast. Want me to walk you through the exact plan I'd use if I were running your pipeline? Now, notice how subtle that is. You're not saying, let me sell you my offer. You're saying, let me walk you through a plan. It's collaborative, it's friendly, and it positions you as a strategist, not a closer. Because when you talk like a strategist, you earn authority. And when people see you as an authority, they ask for the pitch. You don't have to force it. Okay. Before you jump into showing the plan, you want to make sure they're fully aligned, that they feel seen, and that you're both talking about the same problems. That's where the micro summary comes in. It's a quick 20-second recap that says, I've been listening, I understand, and that instantly builds trust and earns permission to move forward. Here's the formula. Number one, restate their target. Remind them of what they're aiming for. This recenters the goal. Number two, restate the bottleneck. Rephrase their pain point clearly so they know you get it. Number three, confirm they want the plan. Get them to lean in with a simple yes. Let's break that down in real conversation flow. Let's say you're on a call with a med spa owner in Miami. You'd say something like, So I heard you, right? Your goal is to bring in around 10 new body contouring clients every month, right? They'll nod to confirm. And the main thing slowing you down right now is the low show rate and inconsistent lead quality from Facebook ads. Does that sound accurate? They'll probably say, exactly. Then you bridge. Got it. Based on what you shared, these are three simple moves I'd make this week if I were running your lead flow. One, me to walk you through the plan. And right there, boom, you're transitioned smoothly. No awkward pitch, no sudden, so here's what we do moment. You earn permission to present. That's the difference between sounding like a closer and sounding like a consultant. Why these transitions work so well. Here's what's really happening under the surface when you use this approach. You're showing you listen, which builds emotional safety. You're showing you understand their world, which builds authority. You're inviting them in the next step instead of forcing it. Most salespeople mess this part up. They go from so what's not working straight into let me tell you what we do. So and when they do that, really, the buyer's brain just shuts off there because it feels like a pitch and it's automated. But when you slow down just a little, recap what they said, and ask permission to share a plan, you create alignment. It becomes a shared problem solving session, not a sales call. So you're solving a problem that the business owner has together with them. That's why this one bridge line can literally double your closing rate because it shifts how the buyer feels during the conversation. Now, with permission granted, it's time to move into the fun part, which is the presentation. But remember, when we present, we don't just talk about everything we offer. We only present what directly maps to their pain and their desired outcome. No future dumping, no fluff, just precision. Because when every point in your presentation ties back to the pain they just confessed, the sale becomes effortless. Let's talk about how to do that next in stage number four, which is presentation. Now, most people think this stage is about talking more, but actually, it's the opposite. It's about saying less, but meaning more. Because here's the deal: when you start dumping features, slides, or long-winded explanations, you lose attention. But when you present only what matters to them, the exact pieces that solve their pain, they lean in. They don't just hear you; they start imagining what it will feel like to have the problem solved. That's when the sale becomes effortless. So remember this rule. When you present, no future dumping, no fluff, just precision. Your job here is to present a minimum viable plan. 3 clear pillars that directly solve the issue they told you about. No more, no less. Think of it as giving them the map out of the maze, not the entire blueprint of your business. We have a 3-pillar close here. Okay. Pillar number 1. I have it all lined up here, but I'm going to just give you a little summary. Okay. Let's break this down step by step. Your presentation should revolve around 3 pillars because psychologically, 3 is the sweet spot. It's enough to show depth, but not so much that it overwhelms. And if you sell lead generation or marketing systems, here's a powerful version called the 3-pillar close for lead offers. Number 1, targeting and source. This is where you explain where the leads come from and most importantly, why they're high quality. Say something like, I help niche in US city or region by sourcing leads from channel that match buying signal. That's short, clear, and instantly relevant. Let's make it real. I helped Denver solar installers by sourcing homeowners with electric bills over $150 and south-facing rooftops. We use utility bill ranges and satellite roof data. Notice the clarity? You're not saying we run ads. You're saying we find the exact people who are ready to buy. And for the prospect, that's a light bulb moment. They think finally someone who actually knows how to qualify the leads. This pillar proves you understand the front end of their problem, how the right targeting saves money, time, and stress. Pillar number 2, speed to lead and show rate. Once the right leads come in, the next problem is usually speed and follow-up because even the best leads go cold if no one responds fast enough. So this pillar is all about response time and show rate systems. Here's the talk track. We install instant SMS. We install instant SMS plus a two-step calendar confirmed to cut no-show rates. Then make it concrete. For San Diego dental practices, every lead gets an SMS under 60 seconds and a human confirmation call within 5 minutes. Average show rate jumps from 45% to 70%. See how that's framed? You're connecting the system to a measurable outcome. It's not about software automation. It's about more people showing up, which means more opportunities, more sales, and less wasted ad spend. And here's the key. You're not overwhelming them with technical details. You're painting a simple cause and effect picture. We fix your speed, your show rate goes up, your revenue follows. That's it. Pillar number 3, proof and payoff. Okay. Now, once you explain what you do and how you do it, you seal it with proof because logic convinces, but proof converts. Here's how to frame it. Here's what happened when a similar company implemented the same steps. Then tell a short, specific story, not a long case study. For example, an Atlanta landscaping firm went from 14 estimates a month to 29 in just 21 days using the exact routing and follow-up system we're discussing. That's short, specific, and results focused. And the beauty of it, it gives your prospect something visual and believable. You're not just saying it works, you're showing it worked right here for someone like you. That's what triggers trust and certainty. Now, when you present these 3 pillars, imagine narrating them as a verbal storyboard. Okay? You don't need slides, you don't need visuals, you just paint the picture in their mind, something like this. Here's how the flow looks. We start by identifying your lead source with strong buying signals. Then every qualified lead gets an instant SMS and a 5-minute call. That takes them straight to a calendar with 2-step confirm, which means fewer no-shows. From there, every show gets a proposal the same day, so momentum never drops. That's a perfect mental image. You can see the system. They can feel how much smoother it will be. And in their head, they're already thinking, I need this. Price and offer framing. All right, now let's talk about how to frame your price without triggering resistance. You never want to tie your value to time or effort. You tie it to outcome. Here's the line that works beautifully. Most agencies sell you ad clicks. We install a working pipeline that produces booked estimates. That's why the package is flat monthly, not per lead, with a guarantee on booked appointments. That one sentence reframes everything. You're not selling leads, you're selling predictability. Predictability is what every business owner actually wants. When you position your offer on the result, not the mechanics, the price feels justified, even premium. Because now it's not just X dollars for ads, it's X dollars for peace of mind and consistent growth. That's how you anchor value correctly, and it's how top closers avoid the can you lower the price trap altogether, okay? Now that they've seen the pain, they understand how it works, and they're emotionally invested because they can picture the transformation. So at this point, you don't pressure them. You simply invite a decision in a calm, professional way. That's where we move into our final step, the commitment stage, because the close isn't about forcing a yes, it's about guiding them confidently to the next logical step. Let's dive into that next. Stage 5, commitment. So your goal here is simple. Make the yes easy and friction-free. No pressure, no confusion, no last-minute doubt. You want to remove uncertainty and give them a clear, safe path forward. Think of it like this. You've shown them the bridge out of the storm. Now all you're doing is saying, here's how we cross it together. Start, and we want to do a soft close here, okay? Start with something soft, natural, and collaborative like this. Given everything we covered, are you open to starting with the 30-day pilot so we can prove this in your market. This line is gold because it doesn't feel like a big commitment. It's a test drive. It lowers resistance because you're not asking them to marry the idea, just dated the 30 days. It gives them safety but still moves the sale forward. And if you've done everything right up to this point, this is where you'll start hearing, yeah, that sounds fair. Let's give it a shot. That's exactly what you want. An easy yes. The two option close. If you want to take it one step further, the two option close is so important. Here's the line. Would you prefer the pilot that includes 20 booked estimates or the full plan that targets 40 and includes the reactivation campaign? Why this works so well is because you're not asking if they want to move forward, you're asking how they'd like to move forward. That subtle shift keeps the conversation forward moving and keeps momentum high. You're letting them choose between good and better, not yes or no. Now, even with the best call structure in the world, you'll still run into three classic stalls. But here's the good news. You can handle each one smoothly without ever sounding defensive. Let's break them down. Number one, I need to think about it. This is the most common stall. It's not always a bad sign. It just means they're uncertain about something. So instead of fighting it, lean into curiosity. Say totally fair. Usually, when someone says that, it's one of three things: timing, trust, or budget. Which one should we solve right now so you can make a clear decision? See how that feels? It's calm, respectful, but confident. You're not challenging them, you're helping them clarify their hesitation. Nine times out of 10, they'll tell you what's really holding them back. And once you know that, you can solve it directly. Number two, send me something. Here's the thing: send me something usually means they want to buy time. So instead of just saying, sure, you take control professionally here, okay? You say happy to make sure it's useful. Which part should the one pager focus on? The show rate system or the targeting criteria? Also, if the summary looks good, are you okay putting a pilot start date on the calendar today? That one question does two things. It forces them to specify what they actually want to review, and it gently keeps the commitment frame alive. You're not letting the call end on a maybe, you're guiding it towards a decision. Number three, price is high. This one's classic and it's all about reframing value. Here's how you handle it. I hear you. If we only improve show rate from 50, if we only improve show rate from 50 to 70% on your current volume, that's an extra 8 to 10 estimates monthly in Dallas. At your close rate and average job value, does that more than cover the pilot? Now, you're not arguing price, you're anchoring it to results. You're helping them see the math logically and emotionally. And usually they'll realize the cost of not doing it is actually higher. That's when the conversation turns. Okay. Now, now that you now that you learned the five stages here, which are very important, and you've seen exactly how each stacks on top of the next, it's time to turn this knowledge into results. Let's compress everything you've learned into a focused 1 week plan designed to lift your closing rate fast. Welcome to the 7-day close rate sprint. This is your action plan, your roadmap to double your closing rate in a single week. Okay. Day one, script and agenda setup. Write your 60-second opening agenda. Choose 3 discovery questions. Practice 5 times. Day 2, proof and examples library. Build 3 US based examples formatted I help X by doing Y, which produces Z. Okay. Day 3, targeting and offer tightening. Define buying signals and disqualifiers. Set pilot terms and a simple guarantee. Clarity equals confidence, and confidence offers close faster. Okay, that is standard across the board. If you want to try anything against this, then you will see your close rate will just drop. So trust me on this one, please. Day 4, objection cards. Write short responses for the 3 main stalls and practice until natural. The goal: sound calm, not defensive in all of these. Day 5, calendar and confirmation system. Now, install instant SMS, 5-minute call rule, 2-step confirmation, measure show rate baseline. Okay. Day 6, dry runs and live calls, 2 role plays, 5 real calls, log friction points after each call. This is important because reflection builds skill faster than repetition. You obviously need both. Repetition and reflection is the perfect combo. But if you can't do reflection is superior than repetition if you can't do both at the same time. Day 7, review and refine. Listen to recordings, always record your calls, identify one improvement per stage, set weekly targets for show rate, proposal speed, and closes. Then repeat the cycle until your calls feel like second nature. That is so important. Always practice, always get better. We're always improving, okay? I am improving daily, so you need to improve as well to get the best results because we are competitive. Let's recap everything in one breath. Ready? Okay. Connection sets the tone and earns trust. Engagement surfaces the real pain and the cost of inaction. Transition gets permission to guide, not push. Presentation maps your solution to their pain through 3 clear pillars. And commitment makes the yes easy with simple choices and next steps. If you follow the structure, not just once, but every single day, your closing rate will rise and will skyrocket. Not by accident, but by design. Because great closers aren't born confident, they're built through rhythm, structure, and repetition. And hey, if you want me to plug qualified, ready to buy leads directly into the system so you can focus purely on closing, I got you covered. I deliver done for you leads that match your exact niche and buying signals, then help you install the same show rate and follow up system we just went through. All you got to do is comment leads or click the links below, or just message me double my close rate and I'll send you the details, okay? All right, now it's your turn. Run the 7-day sprint, track your numbers, and watch your closing rate jump. If this video helped you, do me a quick favor, hit the like button so YouTube knows this helped you. Subscribe for more practical, no fluff sales breakdowns every week, and drop a comment with your biggest takeaway or the line you're going to use on your next sales call. You got this. Go crush your next 7 days, and I'll see you in the next video.